Some places hold secrets, secrets better left undisturbed. We travel through the veil between worlds, where ghosts of the past refuse to stay buried. Prepare to witness firsthand the chilling evidence of the paranormal. The story of those who have encountered the other side and the unexplained phenomena that defy logic and reason. Are you ready to face the unknown? Welcome to Milkshakes and Ghost.
Welcome back to Milkshakes and Ghosts, the podcast where we blend sweet treats with chilling tales. I'm Jenny.
And I'm Jessie, and today we're stirring up something truly spooky, diving deep into a place that promises to give you more than just goosebumps.
We're going to explore a place shrouded in mystery and laden with otherworldly energy, the Museum of Shadows.
So this place is said to be the most haunted museum in the world. And after hearing about it, I can see why it's earned that title. But before we get started, I just need to know one thing.
What you drinking today? Jinx! Double jinx! Ugh, I give up.
You owe me a milkshake.
Well, here. You can have mine.
Okay, before I drink it, what kind of milkshake is that?
I'm drinking a low-carb ghost milkshake. You might like it.
So you've got your sugar intake while trying to be healthy.
Yep. Now, I didn't do everything that the directions required since it was going in my tumbler cup. I got the recipe online from stepawayfromthecarbs.com. I'll link the recipe, as I always do, in our show notes for anyone who really wants to get fancy with it. If done right, it looks really cute and scary. I didn't do this right. Literally did not do this right. Just threw it in my tumbler.
Okay, well, how is it supposed to look?
I was supposed to craft a ghost out of black contact paper. It would have been quick and easy to do. Honestly, I just didn't have the time.
So other than that, what's in it?
Okay, so in a blender, I mixed unsweetened almond milk, heavy cream extract, ice cubes, and liquid sweetener. I topped it off with a little bit of maple syrup.
That sounds okay. Does it taste good?
Actually, yeah, it tastes really good.
I know last week you made a really gross milkshake. What was it? Something with blueberries or something?
Oh gosh, that was so gross. It was a blueberry and jelly bean smoothie.
Oh yeah, that's right. But it had no jelly beans.
It sure didn't. Ugh. That was such a disappointment. So anyways, Jessie, what's in your cup today?
Well, I didn't make my recipe today. Jack did.
No fair!
I'm just more special than you.
Jack? Oh, yeah, you. You owe me, Jack.
He did a really good job with this milkshake, though.
It looks really cool. I can actually see it since it's not in a tumbler. Usually, you and I, Jessie, we always put our milkshakes in a tumbler because we're lazy. And it keeps it colder longer. But Jack made it look so pretty.
Yeah, Jack really outdid himself with this one. He said he got the recipe from eatthedead.com. Okay.
That's a really cool name for a website. I like it.
It really is. It's a zombie-inspired milkshake recipe. I browsed over the website, and there's a lot of work that goes into this recipe, so I'm not going to get into the details of it. If anyone wants to try it, it'll be in our show notes.
It's really cool the way it looks. It's pink and green and has a bunch of candy sticking out of it.
It tastes so good, too.
All right, let's discuss what everyone came here for. Ghost!
Get ready for the chills, thrills, and delicious spills, where every sip is a shudder and every story is a scream. Prepare for the horrible nightmares because after hearing this, there'll be no more pleasant dreams.
Did you just come up with that?
It was good, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was a really good intro.
This episode is brought to you by
Sinister Brew Coffee isn't your ordinary cup of joe. It's a bold, horror-themed, small-batch coffee company owned by veterans who dare to take your taste buds on a dark and delicious journey.
From cosmic creations to cryptid-inspired blends, every roast comes with a sinister twist, handcrafted for those who crave something truly unique.
It's not just coffee, it's an experience steeped in mystery, macabre storytelling, and flavors that are to die for.
Dare to sip in the shadows and join the Sinister family at sinisterbrewcoffee.com,
where every cup reminds you that the darkness is delicious.
Imagine a place where the shadows aren't just shadows, but hints of something more, something unexplained. It's a two-story building that has been in its current location since 2020, notable for being the last building in Nebraska with the cast iron facade. But before we get into the spooky stuff inside, let's discuss the building itself, because this building carries a piece of historical significance. It's pretty cool to think about the architecture having its own story.
It certainly is. The Museum of Shadows is more than just a structure filled with artifacts steeped in dark energy, cursed objects, and evidence of the unexplained. What if I told you that the building itself, the very walls that house these spectral relics, has a history just as, if not more, unsettling than its exhibits?
That's right. Before it came the eerie showcase we know today, the building at 110 Douglas Street in Omaha, Nebraska had a life. Or perhaps many lives that contributed to its current haunted reputation. And to truly understand the Museum of Shadows, we need to peel back the layers of its past.
Our story begins long before the museum's inception. This isn't just any old building. It's a structure that has witnessed decades of human experience, joy, sorrow, and, as the legend suggests, significant tragedy and unexplained phenomena. The town of Plattsmouth got its start as a trading post that grew throughout the early 19th century. It was incorporated into a city in 1857, just before the Civil War broke out. The buildings that were built in the 1880s and now make up the protected structures found in Plattsmouth Main Street Historic District are protected by the National Register of Historic Places. The building at 502 Main Street, on the corner of 5th and Main Street, has housed a variety of businesses, including a saloon and brothel, a doctor's office, a dentist's office, a cigar factory, a barber shop, a tailor, a restaurant, a place for embalming corpses, and the local newspaper that was printed in the basement.
While concrete historical records on every single tenant and event within the building for its museum days can be elusive, the local lore and the experiences of those who have studied the property and paint a consistently chilling picture. The area where the museum stands is part of Omaha's historic Old Market District. Like many old urban centers, it's an area with a rich and sometimes dark past, filled with stories of early settlers, economic booms and busts, and the less savory aspects of city life. One of the most persistent whispers surrounding the building concerns its potential use as a brothel in the late 19th and early 20th centuries. This era was a time of rapid growth for Omaha, and with that growth came a thriving and dangerous underworld. Brothels were common, and they were often places of intense emotion, desperate hope, shattered dreams, violence, and even death.
If this building did indeed serve such a purpose, imagine the emotional residue left behind. The spirits of women who suffered, who were exploited, or who met untimely ends with those very walls. This theory is a cornerstone of the building's haunted reputation.
But the grim possibilities don't end there. There are also rumors of unexplained deaths and tragic accidents occurring within the buildings. even outside the context of a brothel. Old buildings often have their share of accidents, falls, structural mishaps, or even in more sinister tales, acts of violence that were covered up or never fully solved. Each of these events, if true, would contribute to the energetic imprint on the building.
Consider also the building's potential role during periods of disease and epidemic. In the late 19th and early 20th centuries, cities like Omaha were vulnerable to outbreaks of smallpox, influenza, and other devastating illnesses. Could the building have served as a temporary infirmary? Or simply been a place where people succumbed to those types of suffering? The sorrow and despair of those final moments could easily leave an undeniable mark.
What's particularly compelling about the Museum of Shadows building is not just the individual incidents, but the sheer accumulation of the potential negative energy over decades, even a century or more. Worst example, but think of it like layers of an onion.
It's bringing Shrek vibes. Shrek, come on, no, you remember Shrek? He's like an onion. Onions got layers, remember? Oh gosh.
Okay. Who's laughing?
I'm laughing.
Think of it like layers of an onion, each one representing a different story, a different tragedy, contributing to an ever-thickening atmosphere of the unexplained.
This museum isn't just a collection of tragedy and old curiosities. It's now a home to over 3,000 haunted objects, each one carefully vetted and displayed in its massive 2-level space. You might catch glimpses of haunted dolls, unsettling medical artifacts, and Ouija boards, among many other items, each contributing to the museum's spooky reputation.
3,000 haunted objects? Can you imagine the energy in that place? We're talking haunted dolls, unsettling medical artifacts, which I love the most, and even the Ouija boards. Just picturing it gives me the creeps. Ugh.
Absolutely. It was founded by a husband and wife team, Nate and Kaylee Ratterman, and their paths to embracing the paranormal were quite different. Kaylee, who is a psychic medium, has been connected to the spirit world since childhood. She said she oftentimes dreamt of events that later happened. The more she heard about the supernatural, the more it intrigued her. This is a quote from Kaylee. "For me, it's all I ever knew."
Nate was completely opposite of Kaylee. In the early 2000s, Nate considered himself a skeptic of the paranormal, but that changed after he moved into a house in Grand Island in 2006. There, he saw a full-figure aberration. He also saw things like doors opening unexpectedly and chairs sliding on their own. Nate began documenting his experiences on his website as well as in YouTube videos. His work eventually caught the attention of A&E and the Travel Channel. In the late 2000s and early 2010, he began collecting haunted artifacts.
This episode is brought to you by...
Embrace the enchanting darkness with wicked Salem candles. Spooky, yet delightfully scented. Discover non-toxic, aromatic, long-lasting, clean burn, eco-friendly soy candles in bewitching scents and vibrant colors.
Wicked Salem Candles is a healthy alternative for people with allergies or respiratory issues, while also being environmentally friendly due to the renewable nature of soy wax.
With these candles, you're not just illuminating your space with a steady glow, you're protecting the environment. These candles are safer and environmentally friendly since they release fewer harmful chemicals into the air when burned.
Do you like getting candles with a longer burn time? Well, with Wicked Salem Candles, you'll get just that. These soy candles provide a consistent, unwavering flame, crafted for a lasting brilliance.
Wicked Salem Candles are more than just candles. They offer a curated collection of spooky treasures. Discover bewitching room sprays, hauntingly beautiful art decor, and spellbinding accessories.
Whether you're preparing for Halloween, celebrating the fall season, or simply love a touch of the macabre, Wicked Salem Candles has something for you. Enjoy a touch of spookiness all year round.
Affordable, yet aromatic, long-lasting, environmental-friendly scents. If you're ready to illuminate your path the Wicked Salem way, visit wickedsalemscandle.com. Wicked Salem Candles, so good it's scary. Nate's journey to belief was a more personal one. If he hadn't moved to the Grand Island home, he would have never encountered the unexplained phenomena that he did. That's what convinced him that the paranormal was real. I mean, that's usually how it goes, right? A first-hand experience is always the most convincing.
Definitely. Once Nate and Kaylee were both fully immersed in the ghost world, they started collecting more haunted artifacts. This collection grew so extensive that by 2016, they realized they had enough items to open a museum. In 2016, they opened the Museum of Shadows in Elmwood, Nebraska, moving to Plattsmouth 9 months later.
When Nate and Kaylee Ratterman, the founders of the Museum of Shadows, acquired the building, they weren't just buying a property, they were inheriting a legacy of unsettling phenomena. They've spoken publicly about their own experiences within the building. Code spots, disembodied voices, shadow figures, and objects moving on their own. These aren't just isolated incidences. They are, according to them and numerous paranormal investigators, a constant presence.
It's almost as if the building itself called out to them, drawing in those who would understand and acknowledge its haunted nature. The artifacts within the museum are said to amplify the existing energies, creating a vortex of paranormal activity. But the foundation, the very bedrock of that activity, seems to be rooted in the building's own tumultuous past.
Nate and Kaylee have documented their paranormal adventures in an Amazon Prime series, also titled Museum of Shadows, that is in its second season. In addition, the museum has been featured on Travel Channel as well as Discovery and series Fight Club, hosted by Jack Osborne, Ozzy's son. The items on display run from the whimsical, lots of dolls, to the macabre, several Ouija boards, to be exact, to the genuinely disturbing, such as animal carcasses used in rituals, the chest x-ray of a shooting victim, and so forth. Kaylee and Nate now receive donations daily from around the world.
And they haven't stopped collecting. They sometimes travel to pick up unusual finds, or sometimes the objects even find them. People will actually mail in items they suspect to have paranormal connection. That's one way to get your paranormal mail sorted.
Not everything is mailed, as Jesse mentioned earlier. One memorable trip was when they traveled to Jacksonville, Florida, to pick up a doll with human hair. When they arrived at the house, they saw a police cruiser. In an unrelated incident, a person had broken into the same house, and this house contained the doll that they were picking up. So the person that broke in, they unalived themselves. There we go. And this is a quote from Nate. "We were walking through blood. It was basically a crime scene."
That's crazy and scary. And I still can't believe they kept the doll. I don't know if you guys know that.
That doll, however, isn't the one to be scared of, Jesse. There are way more scarier dolls in that Museum of Shadows.
Tell me more.
There's another doll that is considered one of the most haunted artifacts in their museum. The doll is considered to be more haunted than the Annabelle doll.
No way! I can't believe it's more haunted than the Annabelle doll. You gotta be joking.
Yup, Ada is the doll's name. And it was voted the creepiest doll in the world over the infamous Annabelle doll in a Destination America poll. This doll has a dark history. Its previous owners requested it to be tied down. This is a quote from Nate. "She will turn her head, move her arms and legs, move forward. She actually leaned forward, hit her face against the glass, and then sat back up." End of quote.
That's so creepy.
The legend behind the doll is that it was found in a house when a new family moved in. The family was so freaked out, they threw her away. She was found 2 years later, to the family's surprise, sitting on a bag of fertilizer that they had used a week prior. This is another quote from Nate. The family knew us and called us immediately and said, "You need to get her out of here."
You know it's bad if the family calls asking for you to take the doll.
It was really bad. This is another quote from Nate. They threw her in the trash can again, and by the time they had come back from calling us, she was already outside the trash can and halfway up the driveway.
Nope, that's it. Burn the whole house down, burn that doll, take that fertilizer that she was on, that little poo-poo bag, throw it at her, throw it all in her, put her in there, and then put her back in the trash so she'll smell like poo-poo.
Oh gosh, Jesse. So, Ada's history started long before that family called Nate and Kaylee.
This episode is brought to you by
Creating comfort magically. Bare Naturals uses 100% natural soy wax, clean scent fragrances, and natural essential oils. Enjoy a safer way to have your home smelling wonderful. With Bare Natural candles, your home is free of harsh chemicals and toxins. With an eco-friendly and space-saving design, you'll enjoy a safe, sensory experience in the comfort of your own home every time.
Bare Natural candles are committed to only using the most natural, eco-friendly ingredients. Bare Natural candles are vegan and cruelty-free.
Experience luxury at an affordable price. These candles are a one-of-a-kind quality dedicated to peace of mind, relief, and protection.
Begin your journey today. Enjoy code WELCOME for 20% off of an order. Sign up for a free store account to view orders and gain access to your rewards for future savings.
Bare Naturals, where fragrance meets enchantment.
It's more than just a candle. It's magic.
The 27-inch doll's journey to Plattsmouth, Nebraska has been long. Made in 1889 by Simon and Helbig, actually, it's most likely that only her head was made by S&H. S&H were excellent porcelain doll head makers, and one of their unique and realistic features was the open and closed eyes that resembled sleeping. This is a quote from Kaylee Radaman. She's friendly, but you must be respectful when you're talking to her. A 6-year-old girl is attached to her. End of quote.
Dolls are just scary. I need to pray when I'm done with this episode.
The Ada doll is so haunted that employees at the Museum of Shadows won't even touch it without putting on a pair of black gloves. These gloves are so thick that not even acid could penetrate them. Even people that go to investigate the doll or do interviews with the owners and staff are asked to wear gloves as well.
Why do they have to wear gloves?
For their own protection, of course. It's said that the spirit in the doll can attach itself to someone if they're not wearing the gloves. I don't know about you, but I would need more than just gloves. They'd have to give me a full body suit before I touch that doll.
I was thinking that. Stop. You know, I wouldn't need a jumpsuit. I'm going to need a hazmat suit. But I also know another scary doll in the Museum of Shadows.
Okay, so do tell. Is the doll friends with Ada by any chance?
There is no way that they're friends. The doll I'm going to be discussing is located in the Museum of Shadows' second location in Pensacola, Florida.
Wait. I didn't realize that the Museum of Shadows had 2 locations.
You should have researched it better.
Hey, I did research it really good. I didn't see that there was 2 locations. I only read about the Omaha, Nebraska location.
I'm sure you did. Ugh. Anyway, while Pensacola is already home to a few ghost hunting groups and offers ghost tours, the Museum of Shadows serves as the city's first collection of haunted artifacts available for public viewing. Between the 2 locations, the Museum of Shadows houses more than 5,000 haunted and paranormal artifacts, with Such a vast, growing collection of haunted items, Nate and Kaylee decided to expand by opening a second location, so they have the location in Omaha, Nebraska, and Pensacola, Florida.
Okay, that's cool because, like I said, I only thought that there was one location in Omaha. I learn something new from you every day, Jesse.
I'm glad you do. So, the creepiest room in the Museum of Shadows is in the basement. This is a quote from Kaylee. You can physically tell the difference in energy when you walk into that area. When you walk into that room, it feels heavy. Or people say it feels like you can't get a full breath in. End of quote. This area is where the doll Claire is kept.
Hold on. I've never heard of this doll before. I've read about a lot of different artifacts in the Museum of Shadows, but not Claire.
Yeah, because she's in prison in a small wooden box.
Okay, tell me more.
Okay, well, the wooden box that she's in has a glass window where the doll sits, which is Claire, that's just a doll, and she's tied to a chair, just as she was found years ago in the crawl space of a New Orleans home. Creepy Claire, who's said to scratch, move its leg on occasions, and is definitely demonic, is on display in the Museum of Shadows. This is a quote from Kaylee. Yeah, Claire, I don't have anything to do with it.
That's horrifying. You know that doll has got to be extremely haunted if even the owner of the museum won't go near it.
Before Claire was in a glass case, some visitors had taken pieces of her hair. Nate and Kaylee began receiving calls from folks around the country. This is a quote from Nate. I lost my job, my car has been totaled, and the list goes on and on. End of quote. He says once the hair was returned and the people apologized to the doll, their lives returned to normal. This is one of the reasons why they have a rule that you're not allowed to touch any of the artifacts. Claire especially. They say to even watch what you say around her because of the negative energy she releases. She has also injured the married couple and is known to speak. This is a quote from Nate. You will hear what sounds like a newborn baby crying. You'll hear, help me, find my mommy. Can you let me out? Stuff like that. And this is one of the rooms that you can do a sit challenge in if you choose to.
Is he talking about the 10-minute sit challenge that they do?
Yep, he sure is.
I read about that online.
That's the challenge you can do in complete darkness for 10 minutes.
I feel like they need to take Claire and Ada and put them together. Who knows? Maybe they'll become friends.
Or maybe Claire will eat Ada.
You're probably right. Ada had never hurt anyone. Claire, however, has.
Claire is possessed by a demon, and I don't think Ada would want to befriend that.
This episode is brought to you by...
Tired of the same old coffee routine? Craving a cup of paradise? Introducing Kona Coffee House LV. Bring the magic of Kona Coffee straight to you, wherever you are.
Kona Coffee House LV uses only the finest 100% organic Hawaiian Kona coffee beans, made by perfection by Sammy Scrumptious herself. These gluten-free and preservative-free beans are a rare specialty, offering a unique and unforgettable taste experience.
No need to wait in line. Kona Coffee House LV is mobile, delivering a taste of paradise. Book Kona Coffee today for corporate events, parties, venues, and so much more.
Follow Kona Coffee on Instagram at Kona Coffee House LV for updates on upcoming events. Visit their website at konacopel.com to learn more and schedule your Kona Coffee experience today. Don't miss out on this exclusive opportunity to savor the world's finest coffee.
Joining Ada in the museum is Demas. Demas is the second most haunted doll in the world. Demas was found buried in a box in a garden. When it was displayed in a home, the owners started hearing strange noises coming out of it and donated it to the museum. Visitors have been reporting that Demas has been shaking and communicating with them through a spirit box. I don't know about you, Jesse, but the name alone sends a chill down my spine. I am not okay with saying that out loud. Even when I was researching this episode, for some reason, that name bothers me to say out loud. There's something about the name.
It's because it sounds like demon. Literally.
Well, that makes sense.
Like either demon or devil.
I didn't even think about that. Oh my gosh, you're so right. Yeah, I don't like the name.
Okay, so I would not want to hear demons communicate with me through a spirit box because just no, I'm not communicating with anything that can talk to me. Literally, like the movie Talk to Me, where a demon went in them. I'm good. Nope.
I'm going to agree with you on that. You know, you and I were looking up pictures of artifacts from the Museum of Shadows last night, and Demas was one of them. That doll looks very creepy. More creepier than Ada or Claire. Ada's actually pretty. But Demas, it's very disturbing how that doll looks, and I'd rather not hear what it has to say. I have a fun fact for you, Jessie. Well, maybe it's a grim fact, but no, I think it's more of a fun fact. Nate Ratterman says that the museum also has a launch ticket from the Titanic. Can you believe that? It's so cool.
That's amazing. It's history.
I would love to personally see that. I would love to see everything in the museum. There's also a toy monkey. This little monkey occasionally crashes together his tiny cymbals. This is a quote from Kaylee. He moves from time to time, but he also has no batteries in. He does this at different hours of the night and during the day. One time, he triggered our alarm system at 2:30 a.m. End of quote.
That's so creepy, but imagine getting waked up at 2:30 in the morning. No.
That's almost witching hour. Very creepy.
The fact that it's 2:30 and it's 30 minutes away from witching hour 333. What does that mean? Number 333. I'm gonna search that up when we're done.
I'm not sure what that means, but I don't want nothing to do with it. I want nothing to do with it. No, sir.
So between both locations of the museum, there's like 5,000 artifacts, I think.
And it doesn't matter which location we're discussing. Either way, both locations has a process for the artifacts they collect.
They really do. And what really sets the Museum of Shadows apart from other museums is beyond the sheer volume of items is the rigorous verification process that the Rattermans use. They don't just take any objects. They only hold items that had been verified by them. It's a serious process. It includes general research, such as looking up crime records if an item was a part of a murder. They also use paranormal equipment that can detect electromagnetic disruptions, some of which look like old handheld radios or stud finders.
And for a true test, they even turn cameras on artifacts to determine if they move on their own. That's commitment to the cause.
With so many haunted items in one place, it's probably no surprise that visitors often report truly unsettling experiences. Many have described feeling the presence of something otherworldly.
There are reports of visitors being scratched by an unseen hand, doors opening by themselves, and objects moving on their own. And for the truly brave, some souls have even reported seeing ghosts, which the museum generally refers to as full-figure apparitions.
But for those looking for even a more intense encounter, the Rattermans offer the Sit Challenge, and this is not for the faint of heart.
Participants are led to the museum's basement, where some of the more intense relics are housed. They're given a flashlight with a simple yet chilling instruction. Turn it on if they feel the need to tap out. Then the lights go off, leaving the challenger in complete darkness for 10 minutes, perhaps with a few spirits for company. I don't know about you, Jessie, but I think I'd be able to stay there in the dark for 10 minutes. What about you?
I'd be able to do that. Nate and Kaylee Ratterman are truly serious about these ghostly happenings. In fact, Nate has other business dedicated to helping people experiencing the paranormal activities in their home.
But beyond the scares, they also see the museum as a fun and unique addition to the city, providing an experience unlike anything else. This is a quote that Nate told CBS 2 Iowa. People like to know that there is something else different that they can do and tour through that's not like anything else they have seen before. End of quote.
If you're considering a visit to the spine-tingling spot, here are a few things to know before you go. While the museum is all ages, it's recommended for mature audience due to the nature of all exhibits. Daytime tours are self-guided, but guided tours are available by reservation. Admission is $20 with an additional fee for the sit challenge. For those keen to try their own hand at ghost hunting, paranormal equipment is available for rent. And finally, all touring the museum must sign a waiver and release of liability. That alone tells you it's going to be an adventure.
This episode is brought to you by
Looking for a reputable notary republic at an affordable price? Well, look no further. Mrs. Ashley Lutchman is now taking appointments and accepting new clients. Jesse and I needed some documents to sign for our podcast.
We wanted someone with experience who was well known and didn't cost a fortune.
That's right. One of our good friends had worked with Mrs. Lutchman regarding some legal paperwork they needed notarized and recommended her to us.
She was professional, efficient, and affordable.
If you need important documents notarized, email Ashley Lutchman at ASHLEYLUTCHMAN@gmail.com. Ashley Lutchman can be found on Instagram and TikTok. I will link her socials and her email in our show notes.
Ashley Lutchman is remote and commissioned in the state of Florida.
Whether you're a skeptic like Nate was, or Jesse and I were, believe it or not, or a true believer like Kaylee, the Museum of Shadows offers a unique, chilling, and unforgettable experience that delves into the unexplained. It's a place where the bumps in the night might just have a more supernatural explanation than a creaky floorboard.
So, if you ever have the opportunity to browse the eerie collections at the Museum of Shadows, take a moment to look beyond the glass cases. Feel the air, listen to the silence between the whispers. Consider the untold stories held within those aged bricks. The true chilling history of the Museum of Shadows isn't just about the objects it contains, it's about the very space they inhabit, a space that has lived and perhaps continues to relive a deeply unsettling past.
The Museum of Shadows has 2 different locations, which I just learned from Jesse.
That's right, there's a location in Omaha, Nebraska, and another one in Pensacola, Florida.
I love that we can speak on the same topic and have no clue what either one of us are bringing to the table. The fact that our notes are so different. It's a really cool experience. Love podcasting with you.
And poor Jack has to go through all our notes and put it together in our scripts. We need to give him a raise.
Jack's eyebrows just lifted from across the room.
We put Jack through a lot and he's still here. We love you, Jack!
We sure do.
We'll put information regarding the Museum of Shadows in our show notes if anyone listening is interested in going.
I know I definitely want to go after researching this episode. What about you?
Same here.
And remember, folks, as Jesse and I discuss, the Museum of Shadows is one of the most haunted museums in the world, housing a large collection of artifacts. While there are reports of paranormal activity within the museum, such as visitors feeling touched, hearing disembodied voices, and seeing apparitions, these experiences are genuinely considered supernatural rather than posing a physical danger to visitors. The museum itself doesn't report any physical injuries from these interactions, aside from one incident where a visitor did claim to have been scratched by an unseen hand. So be cautious if you plan on bringing small children.
In terms of physical safety, the museum has typically safety measures in place. Visitors are provided with flashlights for navigating the dimly lit exhibits. And as me and my mom discussed earlier, the museum does offer a sit challenge where visitors can sit in the dark room surrounded by haunted objects, but they are given a flashlight to signal if they wish to end the experience early. However, it's worth noting that the museum deals with themes of death, the occult, and the paranormal activity. And some of the artifacts on display are associated with unsettling stories and origins, according to KSHB 41 Kansas City. For example, the museum purportedly houses human skulls, Ouija boards, and artifacts tied to murder. Therefore, individuals who are particularly sensitive to these topics or easily frightened may find the experience unsettling or disturbing.
So, while the Museum of Shadows focuses on paranormal phenomena and aims to create a chilling atmosphere, there's no indication that it's physically unsafe for visitors beyond the occasional report of supernatural encounters. However, it's important to consider your personal comfort level with the themes and content of the museum before visiting.
That's all for this episode of Milkshakes and Ghosts. We appreciate you spending this unnerving hour with us. We hope you found it as delightfully disturbing as we did. We'll be back next week to conjure up more haunts and happenings wherever you listen to podcasts.
Hold up. Hold up, you restless spirits. Don't fade away just yet. Stick around for our ghoulishly good bloopers haunting your ears right after these important announcements.
Our bloopers are a post-possession laugh track. After we've stirred up all things creepy, we unearthed our funniest mistakes and most spectral slip-ups from the recording. It's the perfect way to exercise those lingering shivers.
Got a chilling tale begging to be told on the podcast? Or perhaps a ghostly shout-out for a fellow mortal? Conjure up an email to milkshakesandghosts@gmail.com. You can also find us lurking everywhere else online: TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Threads, Twitter, and Patreon.
For exclusive spectral content and to support our macabre mischief, become a Patreon member at patreon.com/milkshakesandghost. All our digital haunts are linked for you in the show notes.
That's right. Patreon members unlock otherworldly perks and even free relics. Check it out if you dare.
Let's give a shout out to our awesome, amazing Patreon members.
Hey, alright. Patreon. Hey, alright. Come on and join the trend. Hey, alright.
Brothers and sisters, join me. It's time for Patreon.
Mr.E from Special Delivery Show. Check out the Special Delivery Show. His podcast takes interviews to a whole new level. I'd like to give a shout out to our sponsors. Sinister Brew Coffee, where every sip reminds you that the dark side is delicious. Wicked Salem's Candle, so good, it's scary. Bare Naturals Candles and more. It's more than just a candle, it's magic. Kona Coffee LV, Hawaiian coffee delivering the taste of paradise. ASHLEYLUTCHMAN, a reputable notary public at an affordable price. All of our sponsors are listed in our show notes, along with links to contact them.
M&G VIP members also include George, Myra, Spectral Sweethearts, The Echo Crew, Phantom Fanatics, Haunted Homies, Shadow Society, Jody, David M, Alexander, Jackie Lewis, Carly and Donna, Loon of the Darkness, Hidden Shadows, Eric Gonzalez, Jenna 424, Richard Waltz, Dracula's Occult, Death Dark 1875, Clara Jones, Mothman Frosty 424, Vampires Rock 222, The Blonde Happening with Kelly and Brenda, Bigfoot Israel 76, Bloodsucker 95, Nightmares 88, Witchy Talk, Dracula Rocks 22, Tina and Ruben, The Darkside, Ronald H, Joe Santana, Myra Morales from That's So Spooky, Tony S, Jean from The Truth Is Out There, Nadia and Edward, Joel from The Paranormal Countdown, Alan, Deathstar 1, Maxine, Terror Screams, Jules M, Victor and Myra, Haunted Canadian History, Shadow Seekers, Crimson Haunts with Christy and Craig, Liam, Noah, and Juniper.
Our Patreon family is growing. We love it when we get new people. Patreon is a wonderful community of ghost enthusiasts. We appreciate each and every single one of you.
And remember, keep drinking milkshakes.
And keep being spooky!
It's time for bloopers!
And Aladdin with... Make up the protective...
You like it?
Just like a booger. Oh my god, it's so gross.
It's
Why?
green. It tastes good.
It tastes like a booger.
No, it doesn't.
It's gross.
No, it's not.
Mm-mm. I don't like this flavor.
The greens, orange, and the yellows are the best flavors.
The yellow is the only good flavor. This is disgusting. Yellow and root beer.
Joke's on you, I ate all the yellow ones.
Oh, man.
I'm
I don't think anybody realizes we eat more jelly beans than we drink milkshakes. And Jesse just got a really bad one.
What was that?
Feet. Some jelly beans taste like feet in dirty armpits. It's not good.
Oh, it was caramel corn. That did not taste like no caramel corn.
Moms be seeing stuff before they happen. We all psychics.
Tell me more.
It's spooky season, 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 spooky season. It's spooky season, 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 it's spooky season, it's spooky season, spooky season, spooky season, spooky season, spooky season, spooky season. Spooky season, 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 spooky season,